Um, Hello and welcome. I'm Sahdev Zala with IBM. I'm a project technical lead for Heat-Translator and Tasca Parser project. And today I'm here with my colleague Vahid.
Hashemian, a core contributor to the same projects.
So before we deep dive into the talk, I will go over some of the terminology which we will be using throughout the presentation. So what is Tasca? Tasca is an OS's open standard for describing your workloads into cloud. It promises interoperability and portability across multiple clouds. Tasca Parser, it's a newly started project. I'll talk about that. But it's a parser created in Python for Tasca simple profile in YAML. Heat, we know it's an OpenStack orchestration engine, and Heat-Translator, it's a project to map non-heat templates to HOT, Heat Orchestration Templates. The current focus is on Tasca, but it can be used and extended to translate different formats. The project was started last year, and it became an official part of OpenStack during the Kilo release cycle. All right, so I'll take a minute to talk about the enhancements we made during the Liberty release cycle. One of the big things happened to make projects easy to consume. We took out Tasca Parser code from the Heat-Translator project, and we created a new repo. So there are like two projects. There's one Heat-Translator, which is a pure translator now. And the Tasca Parser is a standalone parser that can be consumed by any projects, within OpenStack. And Heat-Translator basically uses the Tasca Parser project. For the first time, we also released both the projects as a PyPy package. The current release is a 0.2 release, and which is pretty stable. We have folks using it. During the Vancouver summit, we had a technical talk, and we promised a couple things to do during the Liberty release cycle, and one of the things was to make the translator available to use in OpenStack client, which is a unified client for all the OpenStack projects. So that's been taken care. It's available to use. I'll show some of the examples later. The other thing is, if you do not have OpenStack environment set up, you can still use the Heat-Translator outside just on command line using the newly created shell utility. One of the big enhancement was support for Tasca Cloud Service Archive file. Just for the broader audience, the CSAR file is basically a container file in a zip format, which basically contains Tasca service template and all the artifacts, scripts, binaries, that are required to deploy your application. So now we support flat YAML template and CSAR, with or without URL. Tasca, Tasca provides a rich support for normative types, base types, but the use of custom types are very common and needed for your application. So during this release cycle, we also enable dynamic loading of custom types. So this chart shows basically the links for Heat-Translator and newly created Tasca Parser projects, and links to the PyPy packages as well. The picture below is something I've been carrying around for like over a year now. The only change which happened here is, as you can see, Heat-Translator now uses the PyPy package library instead of the code which was part of the Heat-Translator earlier. So here is an example to use translator with the OpenStack client and on the shell. As you can see, the commands were used to translate Tasca Hello World template into HOT, Heat Orchestration Template. The left side is the Tasca template, and the right side is an output template. I would mention that the mapping is basically from Tasca to Heat. As you can see, the Tasca node type compute was mapped to Nova server. So a lot of good things happened during the Liberty cycle, and we want to continue that. We want to even be better during this Mitaka release. So some of the plan we have is to have a new PyPy package release for every 5 to 6 weeks interval, and we will create the bug fixes for that PyPy as needed. The development focus will be on few things. The first thing will to code against the spec, which is Tasca simple profile in YAML will be the first official release will be anytime in next few weeks or month. We'll be creating a standalone sort of a validator to use on command line, supporting import types, mapping to the software component. We're using software config right now, but software component supports better lifecycle management. So we will be doing that. We already have a work in progress. We will be going one step further and make sure that if user wants to deploy translator template, they can deploy using the translator itself without using the Heat stack create. We will focus on having more templates to enhance the ecosystem. And one of the major features we'll be adding is making Tasca templates available in the Murano application catalog. So that integration work is going on. Vahid will talk more about that. He's already working on it. So
thank you, Sahdev.
No problem.
So I'm going to go a little bit more into the last item that Sahdev mentioned, how we are working on integrating Heat-Translator and Tasca Parser with Murano. Probably all of you know what Murano is, but just in case, it's an application catalog for OpenStack that it provides application packaging, deployment, and lifecycle management. It uses a notion of environments as a collection of packages that you can deploy together and manage together. It supports HOT and MuranoPL, which is Murano programming language as of now. For HOT templates, how it works is it starts by creating an application definition archive out of your HOT YAML template, and that application definition archive you can simply import into the Murano's application catalog. And we want to do pretty much the same thing with Tasca and Tasca Caesar files using Heat-Translator and Tasca Parser. So this is how it works for HOT packages, the package creation and import. Hopefully you can see the right-hand side diagram. You issue a package create command on your HOT template, and you get an application definition archive, which is basically a zip format. But as I said, that archive you can feed into the package import command and have it uploaded into the application catalog. Of course, the HOT template that you had originally will be in that application, will go into the catalog because Murano would need that to deploy the package into Heat eventually. In the bottom, you see how the command line works. There are multiple or additional options for the command line that you can provide to customize the logo that you want to have with your application, or some of the metadata with that. But inside the archive that is created, there are 3 simple files. The template itself, exactly as you provided. The logo, Murano uses some default logo for HOT templates, but you can provide your own. And some metadata that, again, as I said, you can provide. Otherwise, Murano will pick defaults. And this is how we are implementing it for Tasca and Caesar files. It's a bit more involved because we want to validate the Caesar file right up front using Tasca Parser. So when the package create command is issued for against the Caesar file, we pass it on to Tasca Parser to do the validation. And when the validation comes back okay, we go ahead and extract some of the metadata that exists in the Caesar file and create the archive for Murano. And then, similar to HOT, we feed that into package import, and because this application archive can be manually created as well, we need to do the validation again, make sure everything is in check, and then upload that into the catalog. And here we have the Caesar file accompany the package in the catalog, because we again need that for deployment. Similar command line execution. The only difference with the archive is that instead of a YAML template for HOT, we have a zip file, which is our Caesar file. And once you import those packages, you see them up in, for example, in Horizon, also in command line if you prefer command line. And that's where you can start creating environment, adding these packages to environment, whether they are HOT, Tasca, or MuranoPL, and go about deploying them. About deployment, for HOT on the left-hand side, how it works when you deploy an environment, Murano looks inside, and for each of the packages that are inside the environment, if they are not deployed already, it goes and deploys them to Heat. And if you recently remove some of those packages from the environment, it removes the corresponding stack by issuing a command against Heat. And for the Caesar packages, similarly for any of the packages that are inside your environment of Caesar format, it sends the Caesar format to Heat-Translator. And Heat-Translator, what we envision here is probably not now, but in near future, we may have different platforms other than Heat that we want to deploy Tasca files to, like Tacker, Zenlin, and others. And that's why we want Heat-Translator to be the point of focus for all these deployments. So it's Heat-Translator that would decide whether the Tasca package or the Caesar package that was sent needs translation or not. If it does, it would do the translation and deploys to the target environment. And again, for all those Caesar packages that are removed from your environment, it would, again, send it to Heat-Translator, notifies that, and Heat-Translator talks to the target platform and removes those packages from the environment. So all in all, we believe that this integration benefits both projects, Heat-Translator, Tasca Parser, and Murano. It makes it easier for those who want to adopt Heat-Translator to have a more automated way of deploying their specifications that they created for their applications, and for Murano to provide a richer application catalog, because Tasca brings a lot of potential with all the different types of application that you can specify and have them in the catalog and deploy them and work with them later. So that's all we had for this presentation. I thank you for your attention.
And any question, we can take it after the talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.